Hi, Chris from Keystone Lawn and Tree Care in Spokane, Washington. I'm going to talk to you guys today about honest, real numbers about what it takes to start a lawn care business. In a previous video, we talked about some of the expenses you should expect in your first year or so of business and some real honest numbers about what you should expect to be making. And I know it kind of stinks, we figured looking at the spreadsheets and going through all the expenses, we're looking at probably like 13 bucks an hour after you work, because you're working like 50, 60 hours a week. You're wearing all the hats in the business. So I know it stinks kind of thinking that, oh man, because I see on YouTube these guys are making tons of money. I want to make tons of money. Well, you can make a lot of money, but probably not right away. So building the business in your first year or so is going to be really tough. You're going to be wearing all the hats in the business. And honestly, you're going to be working like 50, 60 hours a week. And if you divide your pay divided by the hours, you're looking at like 15, maybe 13 bucks an hour. It's not real good at first, but as you persevere and you keep going, you get your client list up, you dial things in, you get your route tightened up, then you can start to make a little bit of money. So the purpose of this video really is to talk about honest numbers, real figures, and what it takes to make a lawn care business work and thrive and grow. Today we're going to talk about your trailer, your equipment, and how to outfit your trailer. And we're going to look at another boring spreadsheet to talk about how much does this stuff really cost, what you should expect, and it's just honest, regular stuff. And it's kind of boring, but you got to do it. So here, without further ado, let's jump into it and let's look at a spreadsheet. All right, here we are. We're looking at how much it costs to buy good equipment versus like your low end stuff. We're going to jump right into it. Again, keeping in mind we're our first or second year in and we don't have a ton of money. So you got your 21-inch push mowers. Those are self-propelled, cheap mower that you buy at Sears or Home Depot or whatever. They're like 300 bucks. You can upgrade maybe to your mid-grade Honda stuff, but it's still like 500 bucks. You don't get up into the bigger stuff probably until your first or second year, because this barrier of entry for one single mower is enormous. 1,200 bucks. We're talking like your Exmarks or your Toros, the real high-end grade stuff. These are the real workhorses. These are the ones that you're going to end up buying in the end. But to kind of give you a price range anywhere from 300 to like 1,200. Next, we have your mid-size walk-behinds. Those are the bigger ones that you see with the wheels that the guys are cruising around on, zooming everywhere. Those things, there's no such thing as a low-end one of those. You can maybe buy a used one at 2,500 bucks. But really, I say high-end, but this is $5,500 for a cheap one. That's like your basic entry level, say like your Skags, for example. Your weed eaters. Again, your Home Light Special from Home Depot is like 100 bucks. Your mid-grade stuff is your Echoes, and then your higher-end stuff is with your Steel, and it's like 350, 400. And there is a huge difference in price here, and there is a huge difference in performance. Everything from the simple things like how to load the weed eater string on it, the bump heads. It's just a huge difference, and you'll find that these things are awesome. Your leaf blowers, these are your handheld ones. We're not going to get into your backpack blowers just yet. We're still like low end, just getting started. Your Home Light Special from Home Depot is like 100 bucks. Your mid-grade Toro or your mid-grade stuff is going to be like your Echoes, and then your higher end stuff like your Steels are going to cost like $250 to start. Moving on to your edgers, the $200 one, the only one I could find, it was at Home Depot with the little corny three-wheeled ones, and those are so cumbersome and they're so hard to use. If you can avoid it, just don't get them. They stink. Go straight to your stick edgers, and your higher end stick edger is like 350. And really, there's a little bit of difference here. I'd recommend getting the better one, but you can get away with probably doing a mid-range stick edger from, let's say, Echo. And then your garbage cans are like 30 bucks. And then in total, you're looking at, just for kind of your basic equipment. We haven't talked about shovels, or your gas cans or rakes or anything like that. Just your basic stuff. You're anywhere from like 700 to the higher end stuff, like almost $8,000. Big difference in pricing there between the two. All right, next on the list is trailers. How much do you expect to pay for a halfway decent trailer? You're looking at, like 750 bucks for your basic Home Depot special for like, I don't know, maybe six, maybe less, maybe 600, 650. But this is what that kind of gets you. It's kind of a basic trailer from like Lowe's or Home Depot. Really common. Uh, really common. You can, let's bring back this. You can uh, get even away with getting something lower, say like this Harbor Freight special where it's just the frame and then putting wood on the side. That's actually what I did. I wouldn't recommend that to everybody because, man, it was really, really hard first getting started. Here's a picture of me first getting started. This is what I had. I had your basic metal frame. I had your wood I put on the side, and I towed it behind my car. Put my little tool rack up here, little tubes of PVC with my shovels, and you can see here in this picture, I didn't even have a blower at that time. I was using a push broom. And on the front, you can't see it, but on the front, I have a milk crate mounted to the front of it with my gas can in it. So this is how I started. I put my equipment in the back of a little trailer, and I towed it behind my car. And so that's how I got started. Um, I wouldn't recommend it. It was pretty tough. Hopefully you got a truck or you get one of these little cheaper $700 trailers from Home Depot or Lowe's. As you kind of progress, you'll move into the like $1,500. What does a $1,500 trailer look like? It looks like one of these, the carry-ons. They're kind of the cheaper grade, just regular trailers. They're about 15 to 2,000-ish dollars, and they're pretty good. I still have one of those. I like it. And then moving on, you have your 6.5 by 12. That's extra 6 inches, buys you so much more real estate on the trailer. I know you're thinking it's just 6 inches, but what does that matter? But it's width, because that way you can put two 36-inch mowers side by side without getting them all scraped up against one another. And an example of one of these big bad trailers is right here. This is about $4,000. This is 12 feet long. It's extra 6 inches wide, and then you get this cool uh, basket on the front of it. And I just ordered one of these. It's been a long time coming. I'm really excited. It's gonna be my first nice trailer, and that was about $4,000. And down below we have your racks. We have your weed eater rack, your blower rack, your tool rack. These are just fixed costs. You're probably not gonna be able to find these new. There's no such thing as high end or low end. They're just about that cost. And let's face it, you guys, you're going to have to get these little racks because you can't keep throwing your stuff in the back of your pickup and then throwing grass clippings on the top. It's just a bad idea. So you're going to need to get these racks eventually. And this is what the trailer is going to cost with outfitted with racks. You add those two numbers, the $700 plus the $1,200, you get about $2,000 for your low end entry level stuff. And that's probably like you're looking at like your first or second year, you're going to be buying this sort of stuff. As you graduate into getting some bigger and better stuff, you're making a little bit more money. You're looking at closer to $5,000-$6,000 to outfit your equipment and your trailer. We haven't even talked about some of like you're going to get shovels and rakes and it's that sort of stuff. You're not going to see that stuff. I didn't include that stuff here. And then your 6.5, again, that's the bigger Eagle landscaping stuff I showed you. You're looking at like $12,000 plus the higher end equipment. So it's all there. Some hidden costs you might not have thought of is, you're going to need a spare tire. You're going to need to have your axle service. You're going to need to probably get more lights because those cheap lights just always break. These lights here, they're just hanging off the side. They're going to break, and believe me, you'll go through a couple pairs of lights in a season. It just happens. The higher end models, they don't have the same. They have it built into the trailer, so you don't break them. The toolbox, you're going to want a little toolbox in the front for your tongue box. That's about $200, and then your little flip wheel. What do I mean by the little flip wheel? Well, I mean by, let me pull over this picture again. I'm talking about like your little wheel at the front. No trailer comes with that little wheel. Sometimes they have like a little stand, but they don't have the wheel. Even the big guy doesn't have the wheel. And you're looking at like $40-$50 for the little wheel, and you're going to need it because you're going to have to push it around your driveway or whatever. So in total, in kind of summarizing, these are the different numbers you should expect given the different kind of equipment you buy. And again, we're just talking about basic equipment. We haven't even talked about backpack blowers or some of the like different like hedgers and that sort of thing. This is just like your basic stuff, like your first year or two getting started, what you're going to be expected to pay. There's a huge price gap between $2,000 and $12,000. But again, you're not going to buy the $12,000 one right out of the gate. You're going to buy this lower end stuff and then just kind of slowly work your way up. But there's some numbers. That's what you should expect when starting your lawn care business. Well, there you have it, folks. That's the numbers on a spreadsheet, what it looks like for your first year or so with your entry level equipment. I showed you some mid-grade, some high-end stuff with your equipment and your trailers. That's what you should be, you should expect to pay. You don't have to do that. You can start out like that picture you saw that I showed with me just towing a little trailer with wooden sides around behind my little ordinary sedan. You could do that. And that's how I did it. And it was a lot of hard work. Again, we're going back to that 50, 60 hours a week you're putting in to the business, and you're just busting your butt, and it's tough. But you can do it. And I really hope if you learned something from this video, please leave a comment below, hit the old like button, subscribe. I'd like to do more of these videos to really give you some honest numbers, and you guys give me some feedback if you're getting anything out of this. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for your time. See you later.